Good. Hello, Bill.
Hello.
Are you all right?
Am I all right?
Yeah.
No, but
No, what did you do to yourself?
there's always something wrong.
Ah, well.
Nothing major, but
Good.
a sore toe, big toe. I don't know. Last night, all of a sudden.
Shoes too tight?
No. It's, I mean, yeah, whatever. But it hurts. And I dropped a bowl, slipped out of my hand as I was getting it out of the refrigerator, and I reached for it, and it shattered as I was reaching for it, and it really
Shattered
Sliced.
as you were reaching for it. Ooh.
very sharp.
Yeah, of course.
Bowl, and then I went to pick up a piece of it, and just got against the edge of it, and it sliced my other finger. So, when you ask,
I did. Good morning, Jeff.
morning, Jeff.
Good morning, guys. Just give me a second to adjust this. Good
Oh,
to see you both.
good to see you.
All right, I think that's about it.
Okay. Only so much you can do.
And I've got about 3 square feet around, so I just want to get it as much in there as I can.
Sure. How was your trip?
It was okay. The main thing was to get Kate and Jesse to California, have a couple days, and then send them to Australia from there. So, mission accomplished. I didn't like the LA area very much. So
No.
didn't have a great time, but it was okay. Got to the Santa Monica beach at least a couple times, and that was nice. But the rest of the trip was meh.
Okay. So, just to share with you, last Friday I had an ablation and
Oh.
got my heart back into normal rhythm, which is good.
Yeah.
But I had really bad response to the anesthesia and I think the whole procedure. So I'm doing pretty well today. Yesterday and today I started to come out of it, but I had a lousy weekend.
Wow.
Oh, I can imagine.
I always react badly to anesthesia, but this was worse than usual. But
the procedure was a success, though.
it was a success, yes,
Okay, good.
which was the point of the whole thing. So,
Right, that's good.
and we had Zach here last week, and we've got Amy, Jane's sister, here this week. So,
Ah, okay.
and so you've had plenty of time to practice.
That's basically all I did.
Wow.
So let us begin, and then we'll talk a minute. And I am recording. Wonder of wonders. So, how is opening and closing the shoulders and arms?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure what to expect from it. And I had a couple questions about I watched some of each of the last couple of classes. I watched the majority of each. But in the text that you sent, the writing,
Mm-hmm.
I had two questions about, one was movement. You referenced movement of the ribs, which I didn't really understand very much. And the other was something about focusing on and some movement of the vertebrae Hojin, I think.
I'm sorry, the vertebra what?
The vertebrae that's like right behind the sternum. Hojin.
Well, I was referring to the movement of the scapula and its effect on the heart there.
Okay, but you talked about a specific vertebrae also.
So there is a vertebra and an acupuncture point right there.
Yeah.
And it is one of the two places where energy moving up and down the spine separates to the arms.
Okay.
So it is an important point. I'm not sure what was your question about it.
Well, it talked about it moving also, being in movement a lot of the time when we're moving the scapula and all too. And I wasn't really sure of what the importance of that. Were we supposed to focus a little bit on that to help the scapula? It wasn't really clear to me what the reason was for discussing that.
We haven't really gotten to that yet. That,
Oh, okay.
that was a passing mention. It
Right.
is important, and the scapula and the vertebra do move. If you think about the spine stretch,
Yeah.
that's what you're developing. One of the things you're developing in that
Mm.
is the ability for the vertebra to be able to expand and contract, and it's obviously extremely small. So it's not something, but the movement that we're particularly interested here the, is of course the movement of the scapula, and it's the new movement in a way, in that I'm assuming at this point both of you don't have too much trouble in finding the movement of the scapula from side and back in sideways. But discovering that the scapula can move out away from the heart and in towards the heart. And again, it's a small movement. I mean, I can demonstrate it. Probably Bill could feel it if he put his hands on my back. But it's very small. It's not big, and it's not. It's not push it out with the muscles and push it forward with the muscles. It is, as all opening and closing is actually a release. It's a letting go. So when you're just doing that one, although I'll be doing the others too, but the scapula go out and the scapula come in. And you're trying to, at the moment, isolate that in and out movement, which of course will eventually combine with the side to side, among others.
And where does the movement of the ribs come into all of this?
Tomorrow, next week.
Oh, okay. 'Cause like I said, I watched most of the last two classes, but I didn't really see you talk about it. But it was in the sheet you gave us, so I
Yeah,
was wondering.
it's actually the movement of the ribs is extremely important in relation to the shoulders, but you have to be able to get something happening in the shoulders.
Yeah, I still need more going on there. Okay,
Yeah,
well, I can wait till next week. That's fine. I want to
yeah.
make sure I didn't miss the important stuff.
No, you didn't miss that anyway.
Okay.
Do you have anything?
No, what I did felt good.
Mhm.
I'm not sure I can identify why unless I am just doing shoulders in and out. I can sense that a bit, but
You mean the shoulders
when it's,
nest?
the scapula. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
okay.
But when I'm involved in something else, I'm not sure I can feel the back and forth.
Mhm.
I will say that the whole area up here is more open and loose than it has been in a long time.
Okay, good.
So whatever that is,
Sounds like it's on the
I
road.
think it's just an intention to, especially on the open, to really
Yeah.
do that, and have the whole area be open.
Mm. Uh, uh, I think I said this in one of the last couple of classes, but if you can get all three of those shoulder areas to work together, you will open and close in the rest of your arms, actually, to almost without having to
Can't help it.
focus
Yeah.
on it.
Yeah.
But you will, if you get all three of those going, you will feel a pulsing of energy in the hands. There's no, and that can be a way of knowing that you are doing it.
When you say all three, are you talking about shoulders, elbows, and wrists?
No,
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about scapula, shoulder joint, and shoulder's nest.
Oh, okay.
And that's of course part of what makes the shoulders a little more difficult, is that you have three parts that you need to coordinate in that particular area.
Mm,
So,
okay.
other questions? Or
I'm sure I will as we go along. Yeah.
okay. So, I'm sure Bill has done this. I don't know whether you have, Jeff, or not. One of the really good ways, I think, to practice any of these is in doing the Chansi-Jin. And for one thing, you have so many things that you are trying to do with the Chansi-Jin, but it gives you a repetitive movement within which opening and closing is an essential part. So that actually, to my mind, it made it easier, because I didn't have to think about, when I was learning all of this, to think about what comes next, even in the 8 gates. And at this point, I'm sure you have the basic bow stance dynamic sphere pretty much in hand, I would think. And the nice thing about it is that, among other things, you can discover, if you don't go too fast, that opening and closing is not open close. It's open close. Open close. It's a process. And that can be a help in a way, in that it gives you time to accomplish that. If you think about it as doing it here and doing it there, it's more difficult, I think. So when you do this, you want to think about being closed when your weight is back at this point, and then slowly opening all of those parts and then closing them. So the scapula go out, the shoulder joint closes, and you're able to go right on. The shoulder's nest opens, closes, opens, closes. And you don't, in this, to begin with, you're not even thinking about two arms. You only have to focus on one. Eventually, you have to focus on too, because the opposite is happening simultaneously in the other arm. But it 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 gives you a way of doing that. Now, when you practice this with the 8 gates, the good thing there is you're doing the same thing with both arms. But it becomes a little more difficult because you have 8 varying postures in there. So, anybody have a question about either one of those? Okay. So, what I would like you to do is to stand up and do some of the dynamic sphere, and really focus initially just on the shoulder, the 3 parts of the shoulder joint. If you feel that you've got that functioning to some degree, some recognizable degree, then see if you could go down through the elbow and the hand and the wrist and
And when we're doing this, David, should I just do the right hand and then right hand and right hand, or should I
no,
go
you do right and left, right, left, right, left.
like what you just did?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Just wanted to be clear on it.
And what I would say is do whatever number you're comfortable doing with the right foot forward, and then switch feet, because that changes everything slightly.
Okay.
All right, so relax. So what could you feel in that, or not?
I felt some tingling down here,
Mhm.
so that's a good sign for me.
Yeah.
And it felt smooth. Um, I've been using the Chansogen for relaxation, when I feel I need a quick burst of relaxation.
Sure.
It calms for me.
Good.
So,
One thing that was kind of interesting is a small detail, but on both sides, your primary arm, as it comes down, the final
Yeah.
closing collapses.
The elbow drops in, or
No, the whole thing. Instead of completing the circle, you get about to here, and then it just sort of.
Oh, okay.
You're already thinking, I think, about the next one.
Okay.
So you want to stay present with all the elements of the movement. The transition of awareness occurs, at those changeover points, not before or after.
Okay.
But I will say, you really seem to be keeping the twisting going all the time, and the movement of your body was really good. So
Yeah, I've been paying attention to that. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so that was good. Jeff?
Realizing that I need to keep a little bit of a focus on keeping my shoulders relaxed, for
Mhm.
one, which I did reasonably well, but there were many times when I realized I needed to let it go.
Mm-hmm.
I actually wasn't thinking much about twisting at all, so and you just mentioned that, so that's probably something I should think about a little bit more when I practice with this some more. But all things considered, I felt pretty good energetically. I could feel a lot of warmth, actually, a lot of heat,
Mm.
pretty good movement, on and off, but I definitely had times when it was going all the way through my arms, all the way to the end. And towards the end of the flow, the last minute or so, I was actually feeling almost like a balance between the two arms, like water would flowing from one to the other, the energy, but it felt almost like a water flowing from one to the other. So
Good.
I finally got a pretty good rhythm going. I was able to feel the connection of the two.
Uh-huh. Good.
Yeah.
You're very right about the shoulder, because if you tense or lift the shoulder, it particularly interferes with the shoulder's nest,
Right.
because you have to keep the shoulders, chest, and back relaxed in order for the shoulder's nest to function.
Mm.
So, good. Did that bring up any questions? You're both experienced enough that I don't expect a lot of questions, but they're always welcome.
Yeah.
It's just getting the connection and coordination and timing of the shifting back and forth and the rotation and the, relaxing in and relaxing out. It's just a matter of practice, I think. And,
Yeah,
then some other questions may arise, but that's what I'm realizing I need to do. Just like any new posture we learn, it's you gotta get the timing and the flow of it get familiar with it more.
right. And the advantage of doing this is that if you have 5 minutes anywhere, you can do it.
Yeah.
Um, the it is possible to do it without any movement even, but um, it's something that you can do with small movement. If you're in a location where you don't want to do the big movement. So it's a good way to, when you've got a few minutes and you want to do something, this is easy to do.
Right. It's a good de-stressor also, it seems.
Mm, absolutely. And as you progress through the practice of it, beyond this, it is a great training in staying present, among many other things. Okay, so just to make it a little more difficult, or maybe not, why don't you do the 8 gates and see if you can carry whatever you discovered in the dynamic sphere into that. Okay, Bill.
Hurts when I put pressure on it.
Your foot?
Yeah. But
Well, would it be better to do it on the carpet?
it's manageable. So,
Okay.
thank you. Yeah, I mean, the shoe is constricting, so.
Yeah. Yeah. Good. Did you find different postures easier or more difficult than others in terms of opening and closing?
With the shoulders in particular, the last movement is felt a little more difficult. I'm not sure why. Particularly because the other thing I was going to say is that I've noticed that the movements that are closer to my body are less active.
Absolutely.
And I tend to want to demonstrate something when I'm out here. And I'm trying to fight that,
Yeah.
try to make
Yeah.
that as minimal as the one close in. So, yeah.
So that's a very good point, because we have to find that place within the etheric body where we connect inside when we move outside.
Mm.
And if you're too close to the body, it doesn't do as well. That's absolutely correct. I think one of the things, actually the only posture that I felt like, in a sense of movement, might help the other things,
Mm-hmm.
was the last one.
Okay.
Because one of the things there is that it appeared to me that you were going kind of like this
Okay.
instead of like this. And if you start moving along those sidelines,
Okay.
particularly if you're not too close to the body, you can feel the energy flowing in there. Absolutely. But did you have other thoughts?
No,
Concerns?
that was the recurring one. I mean,
Yeah.
the distinction between the.
Well, watching both of you, I felt like I wanted to say, make the shoulders move the hands. Don't let the hands lead. Yeah. What about for you, Jeff?
I had one posture in particular, and I was going to tell you about this before you even asked the question, but I found that Jen Thunder, I did it like 7, 8, 9 times, whatever, because once I got into that rhythm, I could really, the shoulder side to side and back and forth just felt really good to me.
Good.
I probably exaggerated the size of it, that I should have been doing more so, but it was just because I was trying to get into a noticeable rhythm with feeling the shoulder blades and the nest and everything. So I think even just if I, on my own, sometimes if I just maybe do that for a minute or two consecutively, it could be beneficial in raising my awareness of all the connectivity and everything back there.
Mm-hmm. Good. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. We sort of do a limited number in class, so it doesn't take us forever. But yeah, when you're practicing, you could just practice one.
Yeah, at times I think I will, because I did, in that one posture for me was clearly more helpful than the others, at least at this point, anyways.
Yeah. The thing to do is to make sure you do all the postures.
Yeah.
That you practice all of them, because eventually it doesn't have to be that day.
Right.
Because we tend, if we find one that really works, we tend to latch onto that and ignore the others, which of course is not the intention.
Right.
So, Good. So, any other questions about, in particular, about opening and closing at the moment? Good. So we have the Woo 30 form that we are endeavoring to work on. Questions there? Postures you're not sure about at all?
This very moment, I don't have a question, but they always arise as I do it. Here and there.
Okay. Well, then let's do it and see what arises.
Okay.
Did you have something?
No, I don't have anything that's a specific question. I mean, I know that things like gargoyles are the least refined.
Yeah.
And I think I'm getting slightly better at it, and there are a few others that have tended to be ratty over the long course. Yeah, I think it's going in the right direction, but yeah, it doesn't occur to me as, okay, should I be, as a question, It's just that it needs to get coordinated.
Yeah.
And
so,
go ahead.
one of the things that Bruce suggested with this issue is not to try to do a whole flow, but think of it as a specific practice for gargoyles. And so start at whatever is a comfortable starting point before gargoyles and flow through them, not necessarily to the end, but through them, and then repeat it and do it 10 times. And I found that very helpful because when we don't quite have it and we only work on it by flowing the whole thing, we don't really get time enough to focus on what is the problem, how can I fix that, what can I do, what don't I understand, what's the issue here, and by repeating it you get a chance to really focus just on that. So I really recommend that.
Okay.
We have a terrible tendency, and it's mine as well as pretty much everybody else's, and that is, but just do a flow. But that's not necessarily practice. Sometimes we need to just pick out some particular part and work on that and flow another day. It's not going to go away. At this point, you both know it well enough that it's not going to disappear in 24 hours.
Right. I mean, David, it seems like over the years, my memory is such that we almost always did things like that in class, especially when we were still in the learning stage of learning whatever form it was that we were doing. We would take like a 3, 4, 5 posture section and just do that 5, 7 times in a row. And you kind of watch and it was always helpful.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
So don't forget it. Use it.
Well, it's a good reminder. Thank you.
We'll look at gargoyles in a minute.
Sorry?
I said we'll look at gargoyles in a minute.
Yeah.
Any questions for you, Jeff?
Um, no, not at the moment. You know, gargoyles is good. As I had asked you a few weeks ago when we had our class, those two postures, gargoyles and the kicks, where we're coming in with the arms and then out and rotating. That's probably still my most uncomfortable parts of the form, is getting that whole motion and the rotation of the arms through that as you come in and out. So looking at gargoyles is good for me too.
I noticed, and should probably at some point watch for this elsewhere, but when you did double cannon punch, you were way forward of your dynamic limit.
Okay.
And that's really important for your knee.
Okay.
And because once you exceed your dynamic limit, you don't really have good root and you're easily unbalanced.
Right.
So that's kind of important to be aware of.
Okay.
In general, there's some very good parts of the form that you're doing. There are places, however, where the movement, particularly of your arms, starts and stops rather than being continuous.
Yeah.
And that's
Well, that's not good. Yeah.
that's a
Can you?
well, yeah. Actually, the easiest to see right away is right at the beginning, because well, you would get started here, and your hands would just freeze for a moment, and then finish, and then you might move, and then the arms would go. And it's just not consistent. It's not, the movement of the arms is not directly connected to the dantian all the time. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't.
Okay.
And that's a tough one.
Yeah.
It's part of that whole body movement that
Yeah.
is just kind of difficult to get to be consistent. And it is obviously, practice is one of the big words
Mhm.
there, is where that all feels comfortable. Remember that after you got pulled down,
Mhm.
when you well, here's another one in a way. You did get pulled down, and then your arms froze as you turned, and they have to twist and pull in. They're going to come in and then out. So, just looking for the places where you feel that happening. I mean, it's,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think I know how I need to work on that, because I tend to focus more on the final product of any posture.
Yep.
Rather than the getting there and leaving. Yeah.
Yeah. remember that when you're doing shoulder, that there's a rotation there, and everything is coming in, and then everything starts out. And as you go, I have the wrong hand up. As I rotate, this has to happen. Boom. You were just doing this.
Yeah.
Your body moved, the arms did.
I was getting ready for the next move after that.
Oh. Stay present.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So that's just clearly an issue to work on in your
Yep.
practice. So with gargoyles, I think one of the things is being really aware of where is the twisting in and where is the twisting out, where is the closing and opening. So you close coming back, and then you're going to continue to close until you make that turn in the opposite direction. So it's a long close, but a short open on that first one. Does that mean?
Yes. What I can obviously also see is that your body is not moving nearly as much as mine. I tend to swing that way and then swing this way. You know.
Certainly is a swing here.
Well, yes,
Yeah,
but
you're
I
going
mean,
to turn,
mine's exaggerated compared
turn,
to yeah.
boom.
Yeah.
And then same thing here. You're going to flip and turn, and it's short. It's much shorter. I'm sure the arms change. What am I doing? Yeah. So the first one has that long twisting in and then out. The second one has a short twisting in and then out. And the body does move back through that. Does that?
Yeah, but what I'm, as I say, I'm looking at you, and your body is way more stable than mine is throughout that whole thing. Although it does bend, and I mean, it's not static. Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
No.
But mine is overdone.
Yeah.
So.
One of the other things I might say, when you go into this kick, it looked to me, I could be wrong, but it looked to me like as your leg kicked, you were going like this with the hands.
Okay.
And actually the intention is that you're out here, and the leg actually sweeps across, and both hands slap on the top of the leg.
Okay. Yeah. I'm not doing that.
Yeah. So
Okay.
it's right there with gargoyles, so you can kind of work on that together.
Yeah. That's funny.
That's plenty. Yes, it is. You have a question there, Jeff?
No, but I had a similar observation as Bill in that I think I'm trying to put too much movement into mine instead of making it a little smaller in gargoyles. Especially with I've always had questions about the arm rotation. I'm trying to do too much obvious turning instead of just a little subtlety as I go through it. So that's part of my problem.
Yeah, and I'm probably not doing as much movement as um, is certainly appropriate at this stage of your study. Um, so it's all right for it to be big and then get smaller as you're really more comfortable with it.
Yeah, I just got to get used to feeling the direction of the rotation of the arms through both of those gargoyles,
Yeah,
through the kicks too, the earlier kicks.
I think you're right, because one of the things that's difficult in the first one is that you're twisting in through two rotations, one to the right and one to the left, and then going out in a turn back to the right.
Mhm.
So it's it's an S curve.
Mhm.
Is what it is.
Mhm.
And not getting stuck here. That's
Mhm.
that's just a point that you're passing through in the form. And
Right.
that's one of the things that we all continue to work on for a long time, is not pausing anywhere.
Right.
Um, and obviously, I'm personally, I recognize my inability to be as good about that as I would like to be in the kicks. That's where I am. I'm also, I will say that in this recovery from my procedure, I'm having to, I don't know, I lost quite a bit of strength all of a sudden, and I've had to I'm really working on rebuilding, so I'll get there. So, any other last minute thoughts or questions?
Actually, I had one that I'll have to monitor when I was standing to begin.
Oh yeah.
With my feet together, I realized that the weight drop was down the side of my legs,
Mm-hmm.
sides of my legs, instead of straight down through the center of the knees. So that when I moved my feet just slightly 2 inches apart, then that allowed the weight to get in the middle. And I think I noticed throughout the form here or there where if it was 100, I may have been leaning too far out,
Mm.
that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have to monitor how I manage the weight
Yeah.
shifting.
Good.
I hadn't been thinking about that at all.
Yeah. I will say the dropping of the weight or the energy is going through both the side and the front.
Okay.
So just as the rising is coming up the inside
Mhm.
and the back, we usually just talk about the inside and outside,
Yeah.
but obviously the energy isn't limited to half our leg. So that's very appropriate to feel it, but you don't want to have that be the only awareness you have.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anything else for you, Jeff?
No, not at the moment.
Okay. Well, it's great to see you guys.
Same.
Oh, Jeff, this is the second class of a new session, by the way.
Oh, really? Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Well, you weren't here to know it.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
And I may or may not show up on Zoom next week. We're going to Maine for a few days. So
good.
I will try to have my computer there and
where are you going?
chase everybody away. Mid-coast. Look at the ocean. We're right on the water.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
That's nice. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
See you next week.
Yeah.
Okay, bye-bye.
Hopefully
Yeah.
tomorrow. I'll see you tomorrow.
Yes.
Is it lonely there, Jeff?
To a degree, yeah. I lost your screen. Hold on a second. There you are. When I have this time alone, I really need it.
Yeah.
Because the other 10 months